Our next guest represented Canada the first time the team made it to the finals. Magali Harvey is a former Team Canada rugby player, joining us now from Toronto. Thank you so much, Magali, for your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So how exciting was it for you today to see this win?
It was extremely exciting. I think having played on the national team for many years, it's fun to see that the build-up is paying off and the team really trusts themselves. So even if it's a surprise for everyone else, I don't think it's that big of a surprise for the Canadian team.
No, maybe not. They've certainly been working pretty hard. But for those who have not maybe followed women's rugby in Canada as closely, obviously, as you have, talk to us about the significance of this win.
This is huge. So in 2014 was the last time that Canada made it to the finals, and they lost against England, and it was really unexpected. This time around, Canada came in second, but they played against New Zealand, who had won the previous World Cup, who have won the last 3 World Cups, actually. And so winning against them is huge.
Yeah, and I guess we don't know exactly who we're going to be up against, and I'm now with the royal we, right? But who might? It's either going to be France or England, and I guess if it's England, that's an important rematch, eh?
Yes, exactly. Well, I suspect it will be England. From France's performances, I think England is the dominant team, so we'll find out tomorrow, but I truly suspect it will be England.
And if it is, I mean, obviously you hope for a win, but if Canada can do it, how significant would that be?
I think it's Canada rugby life-changing. I think that Canada's been put at the forefront, and what's different with Canada and the other top teams is that they don't have contracts. They're not professional athletes per se. They have to go overseas to go and play, and they play with their heart. They play with minimum salaries. And like, to give you a context, I think Canada's budget for this World Cup is about 2.5 million, and England's is 26 million. So you're playing against big players, and they're finding strategies to still be able to keep up.
I'm so glad you put those numbers out there, because I think that is something that maybe Canadians don't realize. When I hear rugby, New Zealand, I think obviously that's got to be, and then England as well. You just know that these are countries that invest in this sport in particular, rugby. How has Canada, with just maybe love of the game, as you're talking about, gotten to this point?
I mean, there's many factors. I'd say one thing that's really been a changer for the team has been the coach. So Kevin Rouet has been on the team since last World Cup. He got hired last minute at the last World Cup. But he's very niche in his style. And what I mean is he's realized that women rugby and men rugby is played very differently, and has catered his strategy for the women's side. And he realized that women are smaller and take less space on the field than men do. And so he went about making every player on the field be able to move the ball as quickly as possible. So if you watch Canadian rugby, it is a fast-paced game where the opposition is unable to keep up. So I'd say the coach, the players, we have very athletic players as well. And so I'd say like luck, and also Rugby Canada backs the team. It's not because there is limited funding that they're not trying. So they do fundraising, they do help propel the team, and otherwise the players just go play overseas in England and France to kind of make it work.
Let me ask you about the fan base, because in the lead up to this semi-final match, we have Shania Twain, the Tragically Hip, going online, making it very clear that they are rooting for Team Canada. What does that kind of support mean to you as a former player and to the current team now?
I mean, I'm sure it's very cool to have such high-profile individuals and groups cheer for the team. I see a pattern, though. It'll sound slightly negative, is that when teams get in the finals, this is when people get interested. But to me, a World Cup is a 4-year build-up. You need 4 years of having a Shania Twain or whoever following and help support the team throughout. Like, this World Cup has a 4-year build-up to get to where the players are at now, and so it's perpetual. It's not just on the year of the World Cup.
No, I take your point. I take your point about the bandwagon for sure. What do you hope, though, now that your Team Canada is back in the position that they were back in 2014, regardless of what happens at the finals, but let's have our fingers crossed and be cheering for Team Canada. But what do you hope happens for women's rugby in Canada after this?
It's a great question. It's a tricky one too, and I'll give you a context. If you look at countries like England and New Zealand, they have a rugby nation, and so they have a fan base. And so in terms of their rugby unions, when their national team, especially their men's side, go and play, the stadium is jam-packed. And just with the stadium being jam-packed, their rugby union has funding to keep funding the team. For Canada, it's not quite the same thing. We don't have enough internal rugby things happening to be able to fund the team throughout. So every time they're doing fundraising, I hope that Rugby Canada finds a way to receive perpetual funding so that the players do get to be on contracts, so that the players do get to have realistic lifestyles while representing Canada and not constantly sacrificing throughout their career.
Magali Harvey, a former Team Canada rugby player, also named Player of the Year back in 2014, I want to note, reaching you in Toronto. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.